Hello to all people watching. My name is Cosimo Paravano, and I will be at ANAMED in the fall term of 2024-2025. I am a philologist and a historian of late antiquity and the East Roman Empire, or Byzantium. My main research focus is Greek rhetoric as a tool of self-representation and civic participation in the late antique world. But I'm also interested in the Byzantine literary tradition more generally, as well as in the field of Syriac studies. I recently defended my PhD at the University of Vienna, recently meaning 2 days ago, actually, today being September 11th, 2024. The dissertation centers on one late antique city, Antioch, and three outstanding speech makers, the pagan teacher Libanius, the deacon then priest John Chrysostom, and the bishop Severus of Antioch. And I asked two main questions. First, how each of them used speech making as a way to claim authority for their public personas, but in very different ways, each of them. Second, how they used speech making as a form of civic participation. I showed that the public was by no means a passive onlooker, but instead participated actively. The delivery of speeches was therefore a platform in which ideas were not just presented, but also validated, discussed, and occasionally even criticized. In doing so, I tend to prioritize speeches on local issues rather than on imperial politics. My project at ANAMED is called Spaces of Civic Participation in Late Antique Antioch and Beyond. It will be a continuation and an expansion of the work carried out in the dissertation. Large cities like Antioch were bustling places where ideas of community changed, coexisted, and clashed, and a variety of social actors used different strategies to articulate and negotiate such ideas in multiple contexts. I focus on two of these strategies. The delivery of public speeches in high register Greek is one, and publicly chanted acclamations are another. Now, as form of collective action, acclamations were pervasive in late antique cities and are being now rediscovered or reassessed as one of the main ways in which non-elite inhabitants of the cities could participate in political life. Leaving aside epoch-making events accompanied by acclamations, such as the Nika riot of 532, just to mention the most famous one, my project at ANAMED centers on acclamations on small-scale issues and their different spaces. These acclamations were less momentous, but part and parcel of day-to-day political life. At the same time, these acclamations are known to us because they are mentioned in speeches, which often counter their claims or try to downplay their importance. I also, therefore, look at acclamations at the way they functioned as lobbying means in competition with rhetorical speeches, and at the spaces in which both acclamations and speeches took place. I focus mainly on Antioch, which has at least two advantages. First, we have enough evidence from the writings of people such as Libanius that we don't have for other contexts, or we do not have to the same extent. And second, the emperor was often not in Antioch, especially starting from the late 4th century. This allows us to turn our attention away from imperial politics and into a more local level. However, other cities will also provide useful comparisons, for instance, Aphrodisias, where these acclamations were recorded on stone. While I mainly relied on textual sources in the dissertation, I would like to use my time at ANAMED to start engaging with archaeological sources and material culture. I will travel to both Antakya and other locations to have a better sense of the civic spaces in which speeches and acclamations took place. I also look forward to taking full advantage of the expertise of my co-fellows at ANAMED and of the Koch faculty as I deal with a source type that I am less familiar with. All in all, my research is part of a larger trend aimed at showing that the idea of latent politics as, by and large, a top-down phenomenon should be reassessed, rethought, maybe rejected. And focusing on speeches and acclamations will show that there were many ways to participate in politics, and not all of them were the exclusive province of the elite.